Hello, everybody. This is Teresa Kimball, and you've reached the place where I talk about mental illness. I'm bipolar, and I talk about how to have a lifelong marriage. I've been married 51 years, and how to have a relationship with God. That is the focal point of how to have a relationship with God, because if I know how to do that, then that helps me abundantly be able to cope with the first two I mentioned. Today, I want to talk about the nuts and bolts of depression. I wrote an article when I was 56 years old, which is about 20 years removed from the pit that started when I was 29. And I called it Depression Advice for the One Who Watches. And I said, yes, I'm suffering from depression. And if I had the wherewithal, this is what I would tell you. So you're going to hear in this how I feel, and then what I would love for people to know about how I'm feeling. Number one is, don't tell me to snap out of it. The part of me that's reasonable, and I'm going to break that down, able. I am not able to reason, is that the very part of me that's sick is the part of me that could fix it. You're dealing with my brain, my mind, my feelings. You cannot fix me like a broken arm or leg. My pain is inward, not visible to the human eye. That's part of the reason that it's sad to have depression, because nobody wants to be around you, or they try to avoid you. They try to give you advice that does not make a lick of sense, because it is your mind that you're dealing with. It's not a broken arm. Number two is, I am exhausted from doing mental calisthenics that you cannot see on an emotional roller coaster that you cannot stop. I am emotionally gutted. I have experienced so much grief, so much pain, that my mind has shut down. When I stay in bed all day, I am insulating myself from the pressures of life. I do want to say this, that there is a difference between wanting to die and not wanting to live. And I was to the point where I did not want to live because of how hopeless I felt. It's not necessarily that I want to die, but it's just that I do not want to live and face another day if I have to go through what I'm going through right now. Number three is, understand I cannot control my feelings. Feelings are spontaneous. They are as spontaneous as flipping on a light switch and the light coming on. You can't help how you feel. It's spontaneous. It's automatic. My feelings may be different from yours, but they're still both neutral. Feelings are neutral. They are not right or wrong. Neither is right or wrong. Number four, expect me to have outbursts of rage, of anger. Anger and depression go hand in hand. If depression is anger turned inward or frozen rage, then when that thaws or melts, anger is released. If I'm angry, it means I'm feeling, and when I'm depressed, I'm usually numb. I get that. When I'm depressed, I'm usually numb, and when I'm angry, I'm feeling. Be extremely patient with me is number five. Be extremely patient with me. I'm on my fourth or fifth or 10th medication. Please don't get discouraged. I need your strength to lean on, to be there again and again and again for me. Number six, I am lethargic. Every ounce of energy goes into just putting one foot in front of the other. My goal, and this is hard for people to understand, especially who are trying to live their best life today, and they have so many goals and think that they are so bad if they don't meet those impossible goals. Every ounce of energy goes into just putting one foot in front of the other. My goal is to make it to the end of another day alive. Literally, that was my goal. I had children for those 10 years, and my goal was to make it to the end of the day without killing them or without killing myself. Just to make it to the end of it was my goal. Number 7 is to make myself take a shower is almost impossible. I said to somebody one day, I said, the hardest thing I have to do is take a shower. Now that sounds so dumb to the healthy individual. They get up in the morning, they take a shower. They may take a shower before they go to bed. Life is wonderful, and a shower is great. And there's nothing like getting into a shower. And that's right. That's absolutely right. But to me then, it required more time, effort, and energy than I had to muster. When I took a shower, I was going back to bed because I had no intentions of going out. So why take a shower to not have enough energy to go out, to just simply get on your pajamas or whatever to go on back to bed? But I will tell you that psychiatrists say that the very fact, the feeling of the water hitting you in water drops or trickling on your body has a mental effect on you. It automatically makes you feel better. Number 8, do not ask me to socialize. My eyes are focused inwardly. I can only see myself. I did not like, and I still do not like, because I am, being bipolar, I'm really more depressed than I am high or happy most of the time. But I don't like to go, especially if I am depressed, to where there's a lot of happy people and they ask me how I am, and I'm either going to have to lie about it or I'm going to have to bring them down with saying, well, I'm not doing very good, blah, blah, blah. So I don't like to socialize that much, and it's kind of strange because I don't mind going into a crowd if I am going to be speaking, but if I am not going to be speaking and I have to socialize with everybody there and let somebody else be in control, I'm very standoffish about that. Number 9, if I want to eat, I'll eat. If I don't, I won't, and don't make me. Eating is one of the few things I still have control over. 10, I need you to stand beside me, not in my face. I need your hand, not a lecture. Number 11, I'll talk when I'm ready, if, when, and to whom I choose. If you try to make me, I will shut down or I'll get angry at you. If somebody tried to make me speak and I didn't want to, I would shut down or I would get very angry at them. And then number 12, getting dressed required making a decision, something I could not do. What once was so simple is now so complex. There's nobody at home in the brain. There's nobody there to think. And what you do think about is so inward that you cannot think outwardly. And it's very difficult. Even to this day, I wear pretty much so what I call a uniform every day. And it's something that my daughter gave me. And it's the same top and the same pants that I put on every day. But I don't have to over exercise my mind. I don't have to think about what I'm going to put on. It's just there and it's comfortable. I'm following this train of thought. Now get this, because this is exactly how the thought pattern goes. I can't think or concentrate because my mind has shut down. My mind has shut down because my thoughts are so painful. Whatever you've gone through, if it is a divorce or the loss of a child or the loss of a spouse or parents dying or someone has cancer, or with me it was a baby, a surgery, a depression. So whatever it is that you are dealing with at that time, your thoughts are very painful, because when you think about it, you don't want to think about it. You just want to go on with your life and think about nothing. That's why when people come to me and they think they don't know what's happened, I will ask them, what's your life been like over the past 6 months, 3 months, or whatever? And they'll say, oh my goodness, you won't believe what all has happened to me. And yes, I will, because that's what shuts the mind down. My thoughts are so painful because I feel hopeless. I feel hopeless. There's a passage that is in Lamentations 3. And I want you to hold on to this. I'm not through with this because, well, let me finish this. My thoughts are so painful because I feel hopeless. I feel hopeless because I've exhausted all my efforts to cope with life. And depression comes, or suicide comes, when our ability to cope overcomes our desire to live. That's when suicide comes, is when our ability to cope with life overcomes our desire to live it. Okay, the verse that I want you to hang on to in this message is in Lamentations 3. And this is the one verse that I found in the middle of the depression that helped me more than anything. And if you read Lamentations, it's very, very depressing. And that's why I liked to read it, because I could see depression in words. I could see how the author felt about it, and I could say, yes, I've got somebody that I can relate to who understands depression. So anyway, the author says, because, I'm going to start up above that. I remember my affliction and my wandering, the bitterness and the gall. I well remember them, and my soul is downcast within me. Yet this I call to mind, and therefore I hope. I hope. Hope, the right definition is desire plus expectation. Hope has an element of expectation. So you are expecting something. You're just not hoping endlessly or hoping void. You're hoping, you're desiring something with an expectation. Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. His mercy to us, his compassion, his love for us is new every morning. And I have told people before who've been so frustrated about how they've got to live or whatever, I will say to them, how long do you think you have to live with this? And they'll say, the rest of my life. And I'll say, no. You don't have to deal with this except for one more day. Just one more day. Do you think you can give it 24 hours? Yeah, I think I can do that. I think I can do this. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. I say to myself, the Lord is my portion. Therefore, I will wait for him. The Lord is my portion. If you are new in depression and if you are young, this verse you probably won't understand right now. But what this is saying is, all I need is the Lord. All I need is the Lord. And I said in my other messages, he stripped me of me. And so what he's doing is for me to be, let his presence be enough for me. I just want to be in your presence. It's like the little boy that comes to the dad or the grandfather and he sits down and he looks at him and he says, honey, what do you want? And he said, I just want to sit by you. He didn't want anything. He just wanted to be in his dad's presence. The Lord is good to those whose hope is in him, to the one who seeks him. And I will tell you this, that when I was in the pit, that's exactly what I did. That's where I turned. That was the big thing that I did. And I want you to know that in the 23rd Psalm, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. And watch this. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He made me stay in the pit. He got my attention. He makes us lie down when we don't want to lie down. This is just the tip of the iceberg about depression, about what to do when you're in it. I've not said anything about how to get out of it, but I wanted to just start the tip of the iceberg, and I'll probably have several messages on this, but I think it's so important because you need to know that you're not alone, that other people have suffered from depression, and that I still do. But I'm older. I know how to live with it. It comes, and I know that the Lord is my portion, that He's with me, and I know that, and I value that more than I ever did. I didn't understand it when I was young. So I'm just saying, hold on, the best is yet to come. Remember Daniel Henderson's quote, the worst of times are often the best of times. They just don't feel like it at the time. See you next time.